the Bekaa Valley. Here, at this archaeological site, stand the ruins of Heliopolis.
This is Baalbek in the Lebanon, and undoubtedly a Roman temple here.
An advanced AI system called ARCHAEOS, equipped with quantum scanning technology, has just completed the most comprehensive analysis of Lebanon's Baalbek complex ever attempted. What it discovered hidden within the megalithic stones has sent shockwaves through the archaeological community and beyond.
The ancient city of Baalbek, named after the early Canaanite deity Baal.
Keep watching to find out more. The revolutionary AI that sees through stone. The ARCHAEOS system represents a quantum leap in archaeological investigation technology, combining artificial intelligence with advanced scanning capabilities that can penetrate solid rock and reveal internal structures invisible to traditional methods. Developed through a collaboration between MIT, Oxford University, and the European Organization for Nuclear Research, this AI doesn't just analyze surface features, it can map the molecular composition of ancient stones and detect anomalies that would take human researchers decades to identify. The technology works by sending quantum particles through megalithic structures and analyzing how they interact with different materials. Unlike ground-penetrating radar or X-ray imaging, quantum scanning can reveal microscopic details about how stones were cut, moved, and assembled. More importantly, it can detect patterns and mathematical relationships that human researchers might miss, even when examining the same data for years. When ARCHAEOS was deployed at Baalbek in August 2025, researchers expected to find evidence of advanced Roman engineering techniques or perhaps discover new chambers within the temple complex. Instead, the AI immediately flagged anomalies that didn't match any known construction methods from the ancient world. The scanning process took 72 hours to complete, during which the AI analyzed over 500 terabytes of data from every stone block in the complex. The first shocking discovery came within hours of beginning the scan. ARCHAEOS detected that the famous trilithon stones, 3 massive blocks weighing over 800 tons each, contained internal geometric patterns that were mathematically perfect down to the molecular level. The precision was so exact that it exceeded what modern computer-controlled cutting equipment could achieve. The AI calculated that creating such precise internal structures would require technology at least 200 years more advanced than our current capabilities. But the internal geometry was just the beginning. The AI also discovered that the stones contained trace elements arranged in patterns that served no structural purpose, but created complex electromagnetic fields. These fields were so subtle that they had never been detected by previous investigations. Yet they formed intricate networks throughout the entire complex. The arrangement suggested a level of scientific understanding about electromagnetic phenomena that wasn't achieved by human civilization until the 20th century. Perhaps most unsettling was the AI's analysis of the construction sequence. By examining microscopic tool marks and molecular signatures, ARCHAEOS determined that the massive stones were not just moved and positioned. They were actually shaped and modified after being placed in their final positions. This would be impossible using any known ancient or modern construction techniques, as there would be no way to access all surfaces of stones that weigh hundreds of tons once they're positioned. The AI's final conclusion was unambiguous. The construction of Baalbek required knowledge and technology that no human civilization in recorded history has ever possessed. The precision, the electromagnetic properties, and the impossible construction sequence all pointed to the involvement of intelligence with capabilities far beyond our own. Hidden chambers with impossible geometry. The most shocking revelation from the ARCHAEOS scan came when the AI detected a network of previously unknown chambers hidden deep within the Baalbek complex. These spaces weren't natural cavities or simple storage rooms. They contain geometric structures that appear to violate fundamental laws of physics, creating shapes that shouldn't be able to exist in three-dimensional space. The chambers are located approximately 15 meters below the main temple platform, accessible only through passages so narrow that they could never have been used to transport the geometric objects they contain. The AI mapped 7 distinct chambers, each containing structures that it described as non-Euclidean geometric configurations, essentially shapes that bend space in ways that our mathematical models say should be impossible. The largest chamber, designated Chamber Alpha by the research team, contains what Archaeos describes as a hyperdimensional polyhedron, a structure that appears to have more faces and vertices than should be possible for an object existing in normal three-dimensional space. The AI's attempts to create a complete 3D model of this object consistently failed, as the scanning data suggested the structure somehow extended into dimensions beyond our normal perception. Chamber Beta contains what appears to be a series of interlocking rings made from an unknown material that the AI couldn't identify. These rings are suspended in midair with no visible means of support, yet they remain perfectly stable and show no signs of having moved in thousands of years. The material composition analysis revealed elements that don't appear on the periodic table, suggesting they might be constructed from exotic matter or artificially created substances. The most disturbing discovery was in Chamber Gamma, where Archaeos detected structures that seemed to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. The AI's quantum scanners showed the same geometric objects occupying different positions within the chamber at the same time, creating what physicists call a superposition state that should only be possible at the quantum level, not with macroscopic objects. The AI also discovered that these chambers are connected by a network of passages that follow impossible geometries. The tunnels appear to be longer on the inside than on the outside, with some passages creating closed loops that somehow return to their starting point while traveling in a straight line. The mathematical impossibility of these structures has forced researchers to consider that the builders of Baalbek possessed knowledge of space-time manipulation that we're only beginning to understand through theoretical physics, the construction technology that defies explanation. Archaeos' analysis of how Baalbek was actually constructed has overturned everything archaeologists thought they knew about ancient building techniques. The AI's molecular-level examination of the megalithic stones revealed evidence of construction methods that shouldn't have been possible with any technology available to ancient civilizations, or even with our current capabilities. The famous trilithon blocks show evidence of having been cut using a technique that ARCHAEOS describes as molecular dissociation cutting. Instead of being carved or chiseled, the stones appear to have been shaped by somehow convincing their molecular bonds to release in precise patterns. This would require technology capable of manipulating matter at the atomic level, something we've only achieved in laboratory settings with microscopic quantities of material. Even more puzzling is evidence that the massive stones were transported using what the AI terms localized gravity manipulation. The molecular structure of the stone surfaces shows patterns consistent with having been subjected to reduced gravitational fields during transportation. The AI detected microscopic alignment patterns in the stone crystals that only occur when heavy objects are moved, while experiencing significantly less gravitational force than normal. The precision of the stone placement is equally impossible to explain through conventional means. Archaeos measured the gaps between the trilithon blocks and found them to be uniform to within 0.001 millimeters across their entire length. This level of precision would be challenging to achieve with modern computer-controlled machinery, yet somehow, ancient builders managed it with stones weighing hundreds of tons. The AI also discovered that the stones were somehow fused together at the molecular level along their contact surfaces. Rather than simply being stacked and held in place by weight and friction, The blocks appear to have been joined using a process that created atomic-level bonds between different pieces of stone. This would require temperatures and pressures that would have destroyed the stones using any conventional melting or welding technique. Perhaps most remarkably, ARCHAEOS detected evidence that the entire construction process was completed in an impossibly short time frame. The molecular signatures and tool mark patterns suggest that the massive temple complex was built in a matter of months, rather than the centuries that conventional archaeology suggests. The AI calculated that even with unlimited human labor and perfect organization, the construction timeline indicated by the physical evidence would require work to proceed 24 hours a day at a pace that exceeds what's physically possible for human workers. The foundation stones show evidence of having been placed with knowledge of geological formations deep beneath the surface. The AI discovered that the massive blocks are positioned to align with underground rock formations and mineral veins in ways that would require detailed knowledge of the Earth's subsurface structure. This suggests the builders had access to geological survey techniques far more advanced than anything available to ancient civilizations. The mathematical code hidden in plain sight. The ARCHAEOS system's most startling discovery wasn't in hidden chambers or impossible construction techniques. It was in the mathematical relationships encoded within the visible structure of Baalbek itself. The AI detected a complex numerical code embedded in the dimensions, angles, and proportions of the megalithic complex that contains information about advanced physics concepts unknown to ancient human civilizations. The primary mathematical sequence discovered by ARCHAEOS appears to be based on what modern physicists call dimensional constants, fundamental numbers that describe the relationship between different dimensions of space-time. These constants weren't discovered by human science until the late 20th century, yet they're encoded in the measurements of stones that are supposedly thousands of years old. The AI found that the length, width, and height measurements of the trilithon blocks, when converted to a specific mathematical sequence, produced numerical values that describe the curvature of space-time around massive objects. This is essentially Einstein's general theory of relativity expressed in stone architecture 2,000 years before Einstein was born. The precision of these encoded values suggests knowledge of physics that we've only recently achieved through advanced mathematical modeling. Even more extraordinary is the discovery of what ARCHAEOS terms quantum information encoding within the stone arrangements. The AI detected that the positioning of individual blocks throughout the complex creates a three-dimensional matrix that, when analyzed mathematically, contains detailed information about quantum mechanical principles. The encoded data includes precise values for quantum constants and mathematical relationships that describe the behavior of matter at the subatomic level. The mathematical code also contains astronomical information that shouldn't have been available to ancient civilizations. The AI discovered that the angles between various structures encode precise measurements of planetary orbits, stellar distances, and even the rate of universal expansion. Some of the astronomical data encoded in the stone arrangements describe celestial phenomena that we've only recently detected using space-based telescopes. Perhaps most unsettling is the AI's discovery that the mathematical code appears to be incomplete, as if it were part of a larger information system that extends beyond the Baalbek complex. ARCHAEOS detected numerical patterns that suggest connections to other megalithic sites around the world, implying that Baalbek might be just one component of a global network of information storage systems built by an unknown intelligence. The code also contains what appears to be technical specifications for technologies that we haven't yet developed. The AI identified mathematical relationships that describe energy generation systems, propulsion technologies, and material science applications that are decades ahead of our current capabilities. It's as if whoever built Baalbek left behind a technical manual for advanced technologies encoded in the very structure of the complex. The global network discovery. ARCHAEOS's analysis of Baalbek has revealed that the Lebanese complex isn't an isolated anomaly. It's part of a worldwide network of megalithic sites that share identical mathematical relationships and construction anomalies. The AI's comparison of its Baalbek data with measurements from other ancient sites has uncovered evidence of coordinated construction by the same unknown intelligence across multiple continents. The mathematical signatures detected at Baalbek appear in precise form at other megalithic sites, including Stonehenge in England, Pumapunku in Bolivia, and the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, Bolivia, and the Giza Pyramid Complex in Egypt. The probability of these identical mathematical relationships occurring by coincidence is so astronomically small that Archaeos calculated it as essentially impossible. The AI concluded that these sites were either built by the same entities or constructed according to identical technical specifications shared across ancient civilizations. The network extends beyond just mathematical relationships. Archaeos detected that the electromagnetic anomalies found in Baalbek's hidden chambers correspond to similar energy signatures at other megalithic sites around the world. When mapped globally, these energy patterns create geometric shapes that suggest the sites were positioned according to a master plan that takes into account the Earth's magnetic field, tectonic structure, and rotational dynamics. The AI discovered that the network appears to be designed for global communication or energy distribution. The sites are positioned at specific intervals that would allow for efficient transmission of electromagnetic signals around the planet using the Earth's natural magnetic field as a conductor. This would require knowledge of planetary physics and electromagnetic theory that human civilizations didn't develop until the modern era. Most remarkably, Archaeos detected ongoing activity across the network. The AI found evidence that the sites are still communicating with each other through subtle electromagnetic pulses that occur at regular intervals. These signals are too weak to be detected without quantum-level scanning equipment, but they suggest that the ancient network is still functional after thousands of years. The timing and frequency of these inter-site communications follow patterns that the AI describes as information protocols, structured data transmission systems similar to modern computer networks. Archaeos identified what appears to be a master control signal originating from an unknown source that coordinates activity across all the networked sites. The location of this control signal remains unidentified, though the AI's analysis suggests it might be located either in an undiscovered terrestrial site or possibly in an orbital location. The implications of this discovery are staggering. If Archaeos's analysis is correct, then ancient Earth was home to a global infrastructure network built by an intelligence with technological capabilities far exceeding our own. The purpose of this network remains unknown, but its continued operation suggests that whatever built it may still be monitoring or controlling its function. The implications that terrify scientists. The discoveries made by Archaeos at Baalbek have forced the scientific community to confront possibilities that challenge our fundamental understanding of human history, technological development, and our place in the universe. The implications of the AI's findings are so profound that many researchers are struggling to process what they mean for our civilization. The most immediate concern among scientists is the realization that our technological development may be following a path that was predetermined by whoever built the megalithic network. The advanced physics concepts encoded in the stone structures suggest that our recent discoveries in quantum mechanics, relativity, and electromagnetic theory might not be original human achievements, but rather rediscoveries of knowledge that was already ancient when our civilizations were young. The continued operation of the global megalithic network raises disturbing questions about surveillance and control. If the sites are still functioning and communicating, then someone or something has been monitoring human development for thousands of years. The purpose of this observation remains unknown, but the implications range from benevolent guidance to more sinister possibilities of manipulation or control. The discovery that the network can influence electromagnetic fields on a global scale has prompted urgent discussions about potential impacts on human technology and biology. Some researchers worry that the network's activities might be affecting everything from electronic communications to human brain function. The electromagnetic patterns detected by ARCHAEOS operate on frequencies that could potentially influence human neural activity, raising questions about whether our thoughts and behaviors might be subject to external influence. The technical specifications encoded in the megalithic structures present both incredible opportunities and terrifying risks. The energy generation systems described in the mathematical codes could revolutionize human civilization, providing clean, unlimited power that could solve our climate and resource crises. However, the same technologies could also be weaponized in ways that could threaten the survival of our species. Perhaps most troubling is the AI's calculation that the network's builders possess technology that remains far beyond our current capabilities. This suggests that if these entities still exist, the power imbalance between their civilization and ours would be comparable to the gap between modern humans and ancient Stone Age cultures. Such a technological disparity would make any direct confrontation essentially meaningless. The psychological impact on the research team has been severe. Several scientists involved in the Archaeos project have reported difficulty sleeping, anxiety about the implications of their discoveries, and existential concerns about humanity's future. The realization that we may not be the most advanced intelligence to have inhabited Earth has shaken basic assumptions about human uniqueness and technological progress. Government agencies around the world are quietly reassessing their understanding of global security in light of the network discovery. If the megalithic sites represent active infrastructure controlled by an unknown intelligence, then traditional concepts of national sovereignty and military defense become largely irrelevant. The network's global reach means that no nation or alliance could effectively control or counter its activities. Call to action. The truth we can't ignore. The Archaeos scan of Baalbek has revealed evidence that fundamentally challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient civilizations, human history, and our place in the universe. The AI's discoveries of impossible construction techniques, hidden chambers with non-Euclidean geometry, and a global network of communicating megalithic sites point to the involvement of non-human intelligence in Earth's ancient past. What do you think about these shocking revelations? Could ancient aliens or an advanced lost civilization really have built these impossible structures? How should humanity respond to evidence that we're not alone and may never have been?